Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the study. Going to be talking about a small biotech company called Scynexis. The ticker symbol on the market is SCYX. So like I said, it's a small biotech company that's involved in the development and commercialization of anti-infectives. Specifically, they have a candidate called SCY-078, otherwise known as Ibrexafungerp. And Ibrexafungerp is an oral and IV drug to treat a serious range of fungal infections. So Ibrexafungerp in animal studies has been shown to be effective against a range of Candida and aspergillus species. So these are fungal infections that are sometimes drug resistant. And these drug resistant strains creates an opportunity for Ibrexafungerp to be that ideal scenario where you would use such an agent to treat these resistant infections. So an example of this would be something like Candida species, right? You have Candida auris. Candida auris is a pretty serious infection. The CDC has actually come out and said that they're concerned about the emerging threat of Candida auris, what it brings to the table, and it has this resistance that is resistant to pretty much all of our available antifungal treatments at times. So it has caused outbreaks in healthcare settings. It is important to quickly identify the infection so that we can make sure to treat that microorganism and make sure to take all the steps to manage and prevent its spread. So that's kind of the background here, and this is the company website that I am going through, showing you guys here. They're an innovative SCY-078 candidate drug platform, Ibrexafungerp. And kind of going back to the point of the Candida auris infection on the CDC website, you could see that it is pretty urgent. They have it as a threat level urgent, which is the most serious threat level identified by the CDC. They have some great background information here. What I really like about this is, and just to put emphasis on what this drug company is doing, is that they are trying to target this issue. And as you can see by the chart displayed, the cases over time are exponentially increasing. We look at reported cases increased to 318% in 2018 when compared to the average number of cases reported in 2015 to 2017. So it is concerning that we see this uptrend and tick of cases going up in the at least in the U.S., clinical cases of Candida auris that is being identified. And you can see here they actually target some other areas here of focus in the South Asian area and in the region of the East Asian and the African strain, and a lot of information here. And so when we bring this drug into the topic of discussion of it being a potential agent to treat Candida auris, it is a pretty amazing development in the biopharmaceutical world, and it also creates an interesting investment opportunity in the market world as well, to kind of get that exposure to a novel antifungal agent. Now, on June 1st, 2021, we actually did see Ibrexafungerp receive its first FDA approval as an oral antifungal product with the trade name of Brexafemme, I believe. Yeah, so if I go over here, you're going to see this is the product, Brexafemme, 150 milligram tablets. So it was approved for the treatment of vulvovaginal candidiasis. So this was a historic moment in the biotech market because this is the first in-class non-azole option available. Azoles are some of the most commonly used agents that are our go-to to treat fungal infections to date, such as fluconazole, or popular brand name diflucan, to clotrimazole and ketoconazole, which is used in popular shampoo prescription products. So the company is also working on trying to secure a potential FDA approval for the indication of the prevention of recurrent vulvovaginal candidiasis. So why is that important exactly? And this is going to be my next point. We go to this piece of literature here, this one. We have the systematic review here, which is where they do a summary. They grab a whole bunch of data that's available from different databases online and compare the data, run statistical tests. Without spending too much time in detail, I wanted to point out here that in this systematic review, they were able to identify that the summary that this article estimates about a global of 138 million women and 372 million women are affected by the recurrent vulvovaginal candidiasis over their lifetime. So this pulls that sample. You could go into more detail here if you're interested. And it is very evident. It is a growing concern, especially when you go into the topic of antimicrobial resistance, where you have these microorganisms that are developing resistance to the available drug options that we have in our hospitals and outpatient pharmacy, community pharmacy settings. So going back to the product here, Brexafemme, right? Ibrexafungerp. Why do I like this product specifically as a pharmacist and maybe a potential investor into this company? So it appears to have a safe profile with patients. They experience minimal side effects. The only major point that really stood out to me is that it's contraindicated in pregnancy. So that's something to look out for. The other thing that I really like is that, hey, safety profile, and in combination with that, once a day daily dosing. 1 day oral dosing is super easy for patients to stay adherent to taking their medications and not missing any doses. If you look at some of the drugs that have performed the best in investing in the stock market are your once daily doses medications. Just look at Lipitor, for example, when that took off. Incredible. Another cool thing about this from a standpoint is that they have a investment standpoint, is that they have the patent protection enabled up to the year 2035. And they have received orphan drug status for invasive candidiasis and aspergillosis. So they are also working on other indications, and you can see this in their website on their pipeline here. Above is the treatment of vulvovaginal candidiasis, which they got approved, and then the prevention that they're working on to get that approval, which is going to be expected in 2022. Now, the invasive aspergillosis and the refractory invasive fungal infections are going to be more geared toward the inpatient setting. This is actually pretty cool to have both the outpatient setting and inpatient setting in the mix here. Why do I say that? Because they're actually targeting two different markets. This is actually very smart and a very effective way to kind of scale out and get your product out there. Whereas if a drug is focused just specifically on one sector, the inpatient, or one sector, the outpatient, but if you could create a product and be able to target both sectors, it looks very... the sky is the limit here with the marketing of this product for the drug company, and they have that patent protection as well, which gives them ease and the ability to market at their own pace. So what about the numbers specifically? Now that we're talking about sales, the company did state that they're aiming for an estimate of 600 million in sales on the approved indication. So this would be focusing on the outpatient only. So an estimated course of this drug treatment is going to be about $475 and with a market cap about 150 million, 20.6 million shares outstanding. So it's going to be around $6 a share. If we go to the chart here, yeah, that's where it is right about now at this moment while I'm recording this video. So if they are able to fill their sales goal and do about 600 million, looking at a company that is worth about 150 million market cap, this thing can easily double up the stock price and could even get to $30. 20, 30, 35 is not out. It's not too crazy. Another thing to look out for, though, is the company does have a history of a reverse split that was done to raise capital. This was done last year. Literally like a year ago, as you could see all the way back here, it was 1 for 10. And then they also do have a history of doing warrant offerings: June 2016, March 2018, December 2019, and December 2020. So I need to find out if there are any warrants coming up for 2021. That's something that I have to do homework on. And then we also mentioned what else is in the pipeline for this company, those other indications which can help cause the stock to actually have another run up. So remember, we talked about the approval, right, on June 1st, as you can see here. And this is very popular to see this in the biotech world as we're getting closer and closer and closer to that event date, that catalyst, where the FDA came out and said that they are going to improve this medication for vulvovaginal candidiasis. You could see that there was money being poured into the stock with buying that took the stock practically from a range of $6.43 all the way to a high of $10.25. Yes, that is correct, $10.25. So that is a significant move, significant returns there made. And then, of course, there's usually a dump right after the event. You see this a lot in the biotech market. So if you guys have been following me or looked at my biotech guide that I have available on the tradestudy.com shop, you will know that I always usually, most of the time, like 90% of the time, like to take my profits usually around here. And that's okay. I caught some of the significant move. If it's going to be something of a blockbuster drug or big event or some sort, then yes, I might want to hold some shares, maybe split it in half, maybe cover my cost basis, make it free so I don't have that much risk on the table, and essentially just make my trade free, right? But with these biotech names, you do have to be very careful, because look at this volume right here. There was a lot of money that went out, and now we are essentially back in this trading range on the daily. These candles represent a day's worth of trading. So when we're looking at this chart, what are some ideal ranges that I'm looking at that I may want to start a position in? If it gets down into this lower range right here, where I was able to identify some level, you can see a nice trading range down here. Up here, I'm not too interested, but if we drop back down into this range of $5.92 with $4.49, I may be interested in starting a position in this company just so I can have exposure to a novel antifungal treatment for an emerging growth threat of Candida auris. So that is going to be kind of my game plan there. If they have options, maybe I can sell some options contracts and collect some premium there. But yeah, that's going to be my game plan. And I also like that there are institutions involved in this name as well. They did start having their positions before this run up, so we should be getting some updated 13F filings coming out soon for the upcoming quarter. Most of the filings were done in May, so this was before the run-up, and Citadel, Citigroup, JP Morgan, BlackRock, big names were all part of this run-up. If you were able to get in before in this previous range and take your profits up here just days before, you're a winner in the trade too as well. Or if you got in the beginning of May and just before the FDA decision, May 31st, June 1st, you're a winner there too. So now we just have to play this wait and see approach. And again, I am not going to be starting a position anytime soon. I'm just going to be keeping an eye out for this one because it is very interesting to see this development in the biopharmaceutical space. It is definitely an emerging need that we must have, especially for these nasty Candida auris infections in the hospital. And if I can somehow get my hands on this in this $5.92 and $4.49 trading range, definitely interested in having exposure to that. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, throw a like, throw me a subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. And again, remember, none of this is a recommendation to buy or sell any securities, just doing some education here and showing you guys a little bit of a workup of how I approach the biotech market with this Scynexis company as an example. So guys, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.